There he is. The man, the myth, the legend.
Hey guys, sorry
D-
for the wait. I have you on my phone because for some reason my computer would not log in. So
Hey, no worries. You've been dodging golf size hail for us.
I guess that's what you guys do here in Texas, huh?
We actually have weather here. Can you believe that?
Yeah,
I
I
moved
can.
I moved from the land of no weather to the land of golf ball size hail. So
So I spent 50 minutes in an Uber, and the entire time this driver had just the weather blasted. Like the weather was his life, right?
he couldn't just look out the window and decipher for himself, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So anyway,
Nice.
how you doing, Josh?
I'm doing great. I really appreciate. I know it's been probably a hectic travel day for you, so I appreciate you taking time to come and chat with our Rockerbox family here. We essentially do try to shed some light on how people can increase their production, increase the efficiencies in their business. Obviously, our space is focusing on incoming lead conversion from
Yep.
Boomtown Commissions Inc. Follow Boss, and we work Chime as well now, but yeah, just wanted to bring some more expertise into the room here and kind of give some people some more tools and more systems that they can implement to their business to help achieve, more profitability, more freedom, and more efficiencies. So I know that I had the pleasure of getting to be there with you. How many years ago was it? 7, 8 years ago when you first had the idea for Sisu, and it's been phenomenal to see the accomplishments that you've made over the last half a decade.
Yeah, I would say it's probably been 7 years, Josh. I mean, at
Wow.
that time I was just, I had sold a business. I was just trying to figure out what I was going to do next. You were helping Spring in her business. Spring asked me to help her in her business, and as I dove in, I just saw basically a lot of opportunity to improve the systems for a real estate business. And
Yeah.
even the stuff you were just talking about, you were talking about, okay, these people are spending money on leads, in all these different CRMs. Well, do you know what your ROI is on that lead spend? If you have Sisu, you know that, right?
Right.
So it's just really knowing your entire business and then streamlining and automating the business. I found myself working out of a lot of different systems, such as Google Sheets, Google Forms, Trello. A lot of you guys can probably relate to that, but you're doing your commissions, you're doing your goal setting in spreadsheets, which is super complex and totally doesn't make sense. And then
Yeah.
you're putting stuff into Google intake forms when somebody goes under contract, or you take a listing, or maybe a job form or a Woofu form, and there's no reporting in that. There's no automations that happen when that happens to streamline that process. And so that's really what Sisu is about. That's how we got started.
Yeah. And so who he's referring to is Rockerbox's first client was Spring Benson out of Salt Lake City, Utah. And her and I's paths crossed over a decade ago. She had an issue with lead conversion. And then from that born was Rockerbox, which is the permanent turnkey ISA solution. And then what Brian's referring to here is Brian, you married Spring. You're coming up on what, your 8-year anniversary? Is that what it is?
Well, coming up on 9.
9. That's
Yeah.
awesome, man. Congratulations. And
So thank
so
you.
Brian married into the business and had a lot of quite a bit of experience in the entrepreneurial world. So um, saw some efficiencies that needed to be created in the real estate space. So why don't you kind of give us just a quick like chronological overview of the evolution of Sisu over the last several years, and then maybe if you can, I don't know if you can screen share or maybe videotape your laptop screen or something, but kind of give us a little bit of a overview of some of the tools and
Yeah,
resources that your clients have available to them.
since I'm on my phone, I'm not going to demo right now,
Okay.
but I can tell you, if you all want a free demo, just go to sisu.co, so sisu.co/demo,
Yeah.
and you can get a free demo there. So
And we've even got
uh,
a nice code for everybody. I know it's not as easy to type, but if
yeah, so
go to
yeah,
sisu.grsm.io/Josh Cunningham 62224. You're gonna get the best deal you possibly can, right? On planet
so
Earth.
yeah, Josh, you'll get a discount if you order through that. So do that,
Yeah.
Josh. I would copy and paste that into the notes
Yeah,
or comments for everybody, so they can click on that link.
you got
But
it.
on that note, so Sisu was really started. You know, when I got into the business, I was used to setting goals. I was used to running sales teams. I was used to knowing, okay, if this is what I want to accomplish, we all know every agent says they want to make 100 grand, but geez, if you could really figure out what they want to make, I mean, some want to make 60 grand and some want to make 300 grand. If you could figure out what they want to make, and if you know the conversion ratios for these agents, what happens is all of a sudden you can do positive accountability. And when I say positive accountability, I'm talking about if I'm just holding people accountable because I want to hit my numbers as a leader, these agents could care less, right?
Right.
But if I understand what they want to accomplish in their life, and if I'm holding them accountable to the items that will get them to their goals, now we can relate. Now we have something in common, and now they know that I care about them, and they're going to be willing to do the activities that will get them to that number. And Sisu really started based on that one thing, Josh, being sales performance, allowing agents to set goals, allowing team leaders to hold them accountable to those goals, knowing their conversion ratios, knowing how many activities they need to hit to do those goals. I mean, the reality is every agent out there should know if I go on 20 appointments a month, then I will close 7, 8 transactions a month, right? Whatever that is, it's different for everybody. So once you get to that point, now all of a sudden you can have the conversation. Look, I don't want you in the office all day. What I want you to do is I want you to set an appointment, and as soon as you do, go play golf if you want to play golf, and then go on an appointment that afternoon, evening, right?
Yep.
And if they can do that every day, I think so many times we get caught up in the world of, oh yeah, I'm just making calls to make calls. No, you're making calls to set an appointment.
Right.
And if you know your conversion rates, you might know I have to have some agents have to have 20 conversations to set an appointment. Others have to have 100. And so once you know those things, now you can start sharpening those skills and working on scripts and working on personality so that you can have better success, right? So there's so much involved, but that's really where Sisu started, Josh. And then in 2020, when COVID hit, what we realized is that's a really nice thing to have, but when people are struggling to sell any homes and not making any money, well, how could we help them actually like streamline the process of their business so they can do more with less people? Right. And so we really put in place commission management. Instead of managing your commissions in a spreadsheet, like should absolutely have it in Sisu. Once you get to put in Sisu, you push a button, the template is filled out instantly, and you know your commissions are accurate. So, and now your agents know exactly how much money they've made. You know exactly how much money you've made and are going to make. It just makes all the world of difference to be able to forecast your income and do all that kind of stuff. So having your commissions in Sisu is a game changer all around. And then, you know, if someone puts in a Google intake form, we're really about data, right? We want you to know your numbers. We want you to be able to make business decisions on a daily basis instead of once a month. And so once you get to that point, now we want to streamline your processes. So when somebody goes under contract or when you take a listing, fill out an intake form in Sisu, and it'll make all these automated emails go out, and it'll notify the TC that somebody's under contract so they can get started on the process. And it'll also, by the way, notify the mortgage and title company, and they can now log into our new client portal, and they can be a part of this whole process, and everyone can collaborate and share documents and communicate from within the platform. But it really simplifies and makes it way easier for a transaction coordinator to actually do the steps that get all these people to close. And what I've found is most of our teams now, they'll hire these international teams of VAs where they might have a VA that handles listings, a VA that handles buyers, and they'll have a VA that handles sellers. And these teams that are doing like 1,000 homes a year, they have these VAs doing those activities, managing those things, and it's all in front of them every day. They're just checking off the boxes because they have systems in place. And now your TC, which you really should only need one true transaction coordinator that's licensed, and then your TC can do what they're really best at and what the agents aren't so good at, which is writing addenda, right? If I need an addendum written, agents aren't very good at that. And
Yeah.
if you want to make sure it's done right, that's where your TC should be spending their time.
Right.
So
yeah, so a lot of automation, a lot of systems, a lot of processes. I think the thing that you highlight here is that a lot of times people are just in the action of being busy, right? I'm just doing some stuff, right? And
yeah,
it's not about being busy, but it's about being productive. It's about making sure that you're in the highest income producing activity, that you're actually making sure that you're delivering on the highest revenue per hour activity that you're capable of, and not doing a $10 an hour job that you can outsource overseas. Or that's exactly where rokrbox came from. We're an outsourced ISA solution. It's like, you don't necessarily need to be calling cold leads all day. Where your expertise comes into play is calling warm leads and converting them and transacting them into customers. Everything else should be delegated. A really great practice is to take a list of all the things that you do throughout your day, right? Whether you look at your Google calendar, or maybe you have a handwritten journal, or whatever that might be. Just write down all the different tasks that you're involved in on a day-to-day basis, and then the next column, assign an hourly rate to each one of those activities, and figure out what's your highest use of your time, and everything else below it you need to start delegating that, right? And Sisu is a great way to, like you said, create the systems around that, to create the check boxes for other people, so that all the tasks are getting completed, all that lower hourly rate activities are getting done, getting completed regularly and systematically. And Sisu is a tool that allows you to manage all that through an online portal that people can be logged in anywhere on the planet and take care of that.
Yeah. So Josh, you talked about it, like the value you guys bring is now somebody's getting warm leads. If you're a team owner, you want to bring more value to your agents, right? So that's one of the things you can do. Some other things you can do is you can make sure that they're always just focused on selling. They're not managing the contract to close processes. They're not having to worry about any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what leads they're good at converting on. So you might only give rokrbox leads to certain agents that do a good job converting those leads. And you might give Zillow leads to different set of agents, because what I've learned over the last 8 years essentially is that agents get in their mind that they've got a lead coming in from a certain source and they close it. And now that's a good lead to them. But maybe they've received 20 leads from a different source and they haven't closed it. Everyone else is closing them, but they're not. So in their mind, they're not good leads. So in their mind, they don't follow up on those leads.
Right.
So you need to make sure you're giving your leads to the correct people.
Yep.
But if I could summarize Sisu in a nutshell, Josh, I would say every team leader gets into being a team leader because they were a good agent, right? I'm a really good agent. I sold 50 homes. And because of that, I'm going to start a team, because that's like the next thing to do, right?
Right.
Well, at that point, there's some challenges, right? I'm going from being a realtor to a leader. At least that's what I should be doing. But what I find is most people have a really hard time in getting out of production. So how do you get out of production? How you get out of production is you put these systems in place so that you're now working on your business instead of in your business. You're now leading your agents. You're now leading your ops team. And ultimately, you can hire a team leader who's a sales leader who's managing your agents, and you can hire an ops leader who's managing the rest of your business. Now you can go do other things and really focus on working on your business. You can go build a mortgage company. You can build a title company. You can build all these other ancillary businesses because you're freeing up the time to do that. And that's really what we do, is help these leaders become great leaders so they can work on their business instead of in their business, which allows them to really do the things that are going to generate more income for them.
Yeah. And this isn't just a tool to close more deals in production, but like you alluded to, becoming a leader, growing and scaling a team. There's even a recruiting side of the Sisu platform, because just like any funnel, you got to have leads, you got to have conversations, you got to have appointments. And when it comes to building and growing and scaling your team, I mean, you're creating a human capital organization, and you're looking for assets, people that are going to add value to your organization. So again, Sisu has a whole recruiting arm as well to help you manage that part of your pipeline.
And thanks for bringing that up, Josh. I mean, I don't know how many team leaders are in this call right now, but the single most important thing you can do to grow your business is hold yourself or a recruiter, somebody accountable to having a certain number of conversations every day with agents, which is going to lead to meeting with a certain number of agents every month. And I mean, I don't know how many of you know this, but if you don't, you should. If you want to recruit 5 new agents a month or 10 new agents a month, how many meetings does it take for you to do that? So that you can actually set yourself up for success in doing that, because that's actually the single most important thing you can do to grow your business. You can hold your agents accountable, and you can get them into higher productivity, and they can generate more business. That being said, agents usually cap themselves based on their mindset. So if I have a mindset of I want to make 100,000 or I want to make 60,000, if I do 30,000 a month, I'm not going to do 30,000 every month. I'm going to take it easy for a while, because I've just made more money in a month than I've ever made in my life. Right. So anyway, the way you can guarantee your success is recruiting more agents. So thanks for bringing that up, Josh.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. Well, Brian, I really appreciate the overview you've given of this wonderful solution. Like I said, I remember just brainstorming with you a long time ago, and it was just an idea, and it's super awesome as an entrepreneur to see people take action and to bring those fantasies, those hallucinations, bring them to real life. And so, again, if you want to learn a little bit more, I've got a promo code here for you. I can't figure out a way to copy and paste it, but we'll send out a recap email, and the link will be included in that as well. Or you can just screenshot this and type it in, word for word. But it's sisu.grsm.io/Josh Cunningham 6224, and whatever type of deals or offers they've got. We're family here, so we're going to get you the best deals. So be sure to click on the link, schedule a demo, learn a little bit more about Sisu. I mean, you guys are just growing and expanding. How many users do you guys have now, coast to coast?
We just hit over 60,000 users. We have 3,600 teams on the platform.
That's phenomenal.
So, I mean, if you guys want to compete in the business, you really should have Sisu. Like it will change your life. I promise you that. Our team is committed to helping you double your business every year. So, like, that is our mission. We are all about helping you become better leaders and helping you grow and scale your business. So dive in and learn more about it.
And the cool thing about all the other users is that you have that comparative data to run contests, to gamify your business. It's not just this new idea that's people are trying out. This is something that's been effective. It's been in place for a very long period of time. A lot of the top producing teams across the country are using Sisu. It, of course, integrates with most of the top CRMs out there as well. So a lot of synchronization of the same data. So again, thanks, Brian, so much for taking time out of your busy schedule and dodging all the golf ball sized hail. Any last thoughts?
Thanks for your patience, Josh.
Yeah, certainly. Any last thoughts or comments for our viewers today?
Yeah, one last thing. I mean, you just talked about we have all this data, and we do have this data on the industry where we see exactly these patterns of what's going on. And what I can tell you guys today is the teams that are doing the work, the teams, like if you talk to any coach today, you can talk to Chet Black, Ferry, any of them, they're all saying, hey, do the work and you'll get the results. Well, I have the data that shows if you do the work, you will get the results. And in fact, a very large portion of our teams are on track to double their business this year compared to where they were last year. So everyone says like 20, 21, 22, best years in real estate ever. October 22 hits, everyone's struggling. Guess what? Everyone is struggling except the people who are making the calls. They're still getting the appointments. They're still doing business. These teams are taking market share like you can't believe. And then you have other teams that are going out of business, right? Because they're not doing the activities. So, a lot of you hire a coach to hold yourself accountable. I think it's a great thing to hire a coach. At the same time, a lot of coaching companies out there are using Sisu now to do that. And even if you don't have a coach, if you leverage Sisu to hold yourself accountable, to hold your agents accountable, you will be in a higher level of production. Yeah.
Champions crave accountability, and you got to have a scoreboard to know where you're at in the game, right? That's exactly what Sisu helps you do. Well, thanks again, Brian. I hope you enjoy your stay in Texas, and we'll catch up sometime soon. For you rokrbox family members out there, don't worry, we'll have more content coming your way, and more special guests bringing you extra value in this whole world of generating leads and conversions and creating more freedom and profits in our life. So thanks again for watching. Appreciate it, Brian.
Great to see you, Josh.
All right, take care.